Hi everyone, it's Mindy and welcome back. Today I'm sharing how to create dimensional block letters for your holiday cards using the Holly Jolly stamp set from Simon Says Stamp. This bold design is perfect for adding a modern twist to your Christmas greetings, and I'm going to walk you through how to layer the stamp and share the colors that I use to give the letters that fun dimensional look. If you're interested in any of the supplies that I'm using today, I will have them linked down below in the video description. So the two main sets that I'm going to be using is the Holly Jolly stamp set and also the Christmas Wreath stencil. The Christmas Wreath stencil has actually been released for a couple years now, but I thought it would work really well with this large sentiment. I'm starting with the stencil and I'm going to be using a 7x7 sticky mat from Simon Says Stamp. I'm placing down a piece of white cardstock cut to 4¼ by 5½ and I'm placing the stencil over the top. So the stencil is going to hang off of the edges a little bit, so I'm going to center it as best as I can. Now with this stencil, I do need to be a little mindful because I am not going to do any masking. I'm just going to use a smaller blending brush to get into the areas that I want for the specific colors. So starting with the greenery of the leaf, I am using Trio 14 from Simon Says Stamp, and the lightest color is Aspen. Now again, I'm using a small blending brush to really kind of not get too carried away with my blending and stay away from the flowers. I'm going to add that light wash of color over all of the greenery. Now, before I remove the stencil or before I move on to the red, I'm going to come in with Sage, which is the kind of middle color out of this trio, just adding it to spots here and there on the greenery to add some contrast. And then I'm going to finish it off with Pine, which is an even darker shade of green. Again, just kind of spot ink blending, I guess we'll call this. And that's going to make our wreath look a little bit dimensional. Does not have to be perfect because a lot of this is going to get covered up. And keep in mind that some of these areas are very intricate. So instead of going in a circular motion, you might want to just swipe on your color. For the flowers, I'm going to be using a Trio 30, which is a beautiful assortment of reds. The lightest color that I'm starting with is Rhubarb, and I'm going to add, again, that light wash of color to the flowers, starting in the center and blending my way out, being really careful of that green. And then I'm going to jump to the darkest color, which is going to be Cranberry. Now, that last flower I did at first, I couldn't figure out why it was looking so much different than the rest of my flowers, and that's because when I was tapping off my excess ink, I tapped right into the green, so make sure to wipe up your excess ink in between switching colors. Now that darkest color Cranberry, I am starting in the center and blending out about halfway just to give a slight color variation, and then I can carefully peel away the stencil. I love when these sticky mats come in super handy like this for not only the cardstock, but these intricate stencils to hold them in place. I'm going to move on to my stamping, and I thought this was such a fun and unique design. I don't know if you guys remember, but for me anyway, back in school, I used to do block lettering all the time as more of a doodle. And it was actually kind of bubble lettering, but it was still really fun to do this. So this kind of brought back some memories for me when I saw the stamp set. I am using white cardstock. This is Hammermill. It is 100-pound cardstock. And I started by stamping the main letters Holly Jolly, or the words Holly Jolly, in that rhubarb ink. So the lightest color out of Trio 30. I'm going to take the next layer in this stamp set. This is going to be kind of the bulk of our shadows, or the bulk of that block lettering shadow style. And I'm stamping this in the darkest color, which is going to be Cranberry. Now, if you need to repeat stamping to make it darker, you may want to do that. Or if you want to jump to a darker red color out of a different trio, you can do that too. But the second set, or the second layer in that stamp set, is one that I really wanted to be nice and dark. I moved on to the last layer, which is going to add some additional shadow areas to it. And for this, I went back to Apple, which is the middle color out of Trio 30. You're going to see how that last layer really pulls the whole design together. And if it's lined up correctly, this is going to fit perfectly in the coordinating die. Now, since I am going to be die cutting all of these out next, I went ahead and stamped out the other two additional sentiments that have coordinating dies with them. I stamped them in black ink, lined up the dies, held them in place with Post-it tape, and ran through my die cut machine. I always like to add an additional layer of cardstock using the coordinating die behind my stamped pieces. So for that, I am using some liquid glue. I did it for the Holly Jolly Now for the smaller sentiments, I did add 2 extra pieces of cardstock there. There is one more additional sentiment on the stamp set that I wanted to add to my design. So I put this in the top of my Misty and I'm lining up my die cut sentiments where I want them to be and then placing that additional stamped sentiment underneath. And I am using my Misty corner to help kind of push that sentiment up. And that's going to make sure that it is nice and straight in a nice straight line. But you do have to make sure your margins are even on each side so it looks nice and centered. I picked up the sentiment with the door of the Misty. I can remove my die cut sentiments and my Misty corner because I don't need them right now, and just go ahead and stamp this down. I'm adding tape runner to the back of my stenciled panel and I'm going to add it to a side folding card base. Now, even though I added cardstock behind all of my sentiments, I mainly do that for stability purposes. I like that, or I like the thicker feel of that. So I'm still going to add some thin foam squares behind these. Thin foam squares gives it just enough of a lift and also kind of gives it almost that shadowy look. To me, it gives it more separation from the background. So all of my additional sentiments do have thin foam squares behind them. And then I thought, why not add some sparkly embellishments to this? So I pulled out the Starshine embellishment mix. I poured them into this triangle tray and I started to go around and place them around the wreath. I did, let's see, 5 groupings. And in those groupings, I maybe did 2 or 3 embellishments. Once those are in place, I can pick those up with my pick and stick tool, add a dot of glue, and place those down. I hope this project inspires you to maybe try out some colors similar to this. I know at the time of this video that this stamp set is on pre-order, so maybe go ahead and add it to your wish list, or if you do have it, this gives you some inspiration to create with it. All of the supplies I used today are listed down below in the video description and over on my blog. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again real soon. Here is another video that I think you'll enjoy.